Queen, faith or fear? Faith or fear? Queen, we're going to talk about something today that oftentimes I talk about and I will not stop talking about. And that is really understanding the difference between faith and fear and how we can choose one over the other. And we can get over, really getting over that fear, hopefully. So please listen up, stay tuned, because we're about to go there. But first, welcome to the Find Your Voice show with Coach Vuyanzi, where we are helping Black women leaders to find their voice from the inside out. I am Coach Vuyanzi. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So, Queen, listen to this. We said faith or fear, and this is something that comes up often. First of all, let's talk about when it's coming up. Of course, you know, in the Career Passion Accelerator program, women are coming to me about transitions in their career. So a lot of times they're like, oh, I don't want to move. I don't know, fear of the unknown, right? I don't know what's going to happen in my move. You ever heard this expression, or have you ever used this expression? The devil I do know is better than the devil I don't know. What the is that about? Why do we want to know devils anyway, right? And so all these things come up, right, that cause our fear. And especially, let's be real for a second, because I'm a single mom, right? I was single mom for most of the time. I was married in between there for a couple of years. That's a whole, child, please. That's a whole nother video, okay? But in the meantime, for the most part, I was a single mom. So of course, when we're thinking about career transitions, we're always maybe a little bit nervous because we don't want to do anything that's going to jeopardize our families, our living space, eating, things, all these activities that we have our kids signed up in. So I understand why fear comes. And let's understand this. Fear comes as a way to protect. So we also don't need to be so mean to ourselves when fear comes, like, oh, I hate you, fear. Like, I hate when you come. No, calm down, Queen. Calm down. When the fear comes about whatever it is, I want you to recognize that it may be trying to protect you. When we talk about that transition of a career, when you're saying, oh, I don't know, what if I go to this? And actually, I just had a client who said this the other day. Like, what if I lose my job out there? I'm like, well, you could lose your job in there too. But why is that fear come, right? Because right now you are settled. Maybe you are getting that paycheck every 2 weeks or once a month, whatever it may be. And you can pretty much predict that predictability. We can predict, right? And if we can predict, we are secure. And if we're talking about security, we're thinking about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and knowing that security is one of the basic things that we need. So number one, I'll say this, is that, oh my gosh, I'm finding myself going in a different direction. Think about what you'd need to do to alleviate the fear. So this is what I mean. And some of you are like, that doesn't make sense. If I could do that, I wouldn't have the fear. But a lot of times it's planning. And you're going to hear me say this more than once. Proper planning prevents poor performance. Proper planning prevents poor performance. And so if that is the case, right, and that fear is coming up because it's what if, well, then plan yourself to help to control or create the what if condition, right? To create something that at least you can buffer yourself and you can be okay. So that planning can cover a multitude of things. So the other thing that's coming up for me is love. What is it? Perfect love. There's a Bible verse, and I'm not quoting it exactly right, but it'll say, perfect love cast out all fear, right? And if you can just love on yourself enough to know, listen, I've trusted myself for how many decades now? I've trusted myself to make decisions for me. I've trusted myself. Even when they were bad decisions, I still was able to get out of it. I've trusted myself with my kids to be able to have raised my kids this long. I trust myself and therefore, I love myself. If I put my trust in me, that means there must be some love there, right? Increase that self-love to help overcome that fear. So we have planning, we have an increase of love. Now, the third thing, get your head around this. So we know that faith is, and again, coming from the Bible, it's basically the hope in what we don't have evidence of. And so therefore, if we're hoping and believing in the thing that there's no evidence for, okay, we call that faith, then what is fear? Fear is, I love this acronym, false evidence appearing real. False evidence. Evidence that is not real, but it is appearing real. So then, if faith, what you're having faith in, or not what you're having faith in, but if faith is what you're hoping for that doesn't exist, and fear is what you're worried about, and that doesn't exist, you now have a choice, like a real understanding that the difference between faith and fear is simply your mind and how you choose to look at the situation. Breathe that in with me. Inhale, exhale. That is the difference. So I want you, again, how do we open this up? Faith and fear, looking at how to overcome it, doing some planning. Proper planning prevents poor performance. It's like Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper. Oh my gosh, I said it. Okay, sorry. I didn't imagine that I could say that. And then understanding what was my second one, loving yourself. And then the third is really understanding what the difference is between faith and fear. So therefore, I encourage you, Queen, to make a decision about how you're looking at your next chapter. Are you looking at it in faith or are you looking at it in fear? The Career Passion Accelerator group coaching program is helping women all over the globe to approach their next chapter with faith. In faith. And if you're more curious about that, make sure you drop a comment below. But even if you're not, drop a comment below about your thoughts about today's video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Until the next time. Mwah.